Okay, microphone's on. Uh, had to go to the emergency for Bonzo today, recording on the iPad. Hopefully this works. I'm gonna keep it a little bit shorter because I'm worried that it won't save on here as well. Already went through everything, so hopefully I can be a little bit more concise. We'll start with the power rankings. Hot, slim pickings. Why you look at this team? ETN's good, Ramondre's good. Beyond that, this is some of the weakest wide receivers in the league. Gibson is still in a timeshare. Robert Tunney's a terrible tight end. Who is he actually missing right now? Maybe Pickens. Nobody else is a starter, so it's not like he's getting riddled by bye weeks. Like, this is the team. Fields has been good, but you can't expect him to, you know, continue putting up these numbers. And even if he does, I don't think it's enough to save this team from competing for Sacco. Alex Jones is coming in at 11. Now, I know Brad's going to take this to heart. He loves talking in the chat. He thinks his team's going to be good this year. He so desperately wants to bounce back from Sacco, but like this team maybe had a chance at playoffs with Brees, and now without Brees, just everything's worse because now his weakest position is RB2. Not only that, I think his team would have been a couple slots higher, but the trade for Keenan is horrible. I mean, he traded away Keenan because I have to win now, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you have to win now with Tyler Boyd, who's only going to go down in value as the season goes on. He saved his night with that one touchdown catch. He had two catches for like 12 yards before that touchdown catch the other night. So it's not like you can get excited about playing Boyd. It's not like you can get excited about playing Wandale. CMC's great and Pierce are great, but like this is probably the second worst, um, probably the second worst in the league as far as wide receivers go. Brady's been bad. What else do you want me to say? It's a bottom three team for sure. I'll put Indies. I'll put Indies at 10. Um, Indies Cheeks at 10. Because Mariota's a bad starting quarterback, and I mean, okay, so he got Mariota in there because of the bye week. Never mind. Sorry, Dak. I don't think Dak's a good starting quarterback either. I think you'd almost rather start Mariota. Um, the trade hurt this team a lot. He gave up, if you remember, Evans, Andrews, and Jalen Hurts. I think he downgraded at quarterback, definitely downgraded at tight end, just to have a minor upgrade at with Debo and getting Godwin in there. Najee's been terrible. You can't get super excited about this team. The running backs are weak, and the wide receivers, he's got two good ones. That's all there is to say about the team. He's got a couple good wide receivers. How could I rank it higher? How could I rank it higher? Definitely a bottom three team. Team McCosy at 9, so not quite as bad as these few we've seen before. But as you'll see, another theme here, right? The Javonte injury obviously hurt this team because if Javonte was healthy, he was starting Derrick Henry and Javonte with Miles Sanders at the flex. He wouldn't have to be flexing Lazard. Maybe he could be moving some of these wide receiver pieces or one of the running backs to upgrade at tight end. But right now, if he moves anyone to upgrade at tight end, he's pretty thin. Gino's been good, but he's probably mid, if we're being honest. Derrick Henry and Miles Sanders are a good 1-2 punch. A.J. Brown and Lockett are a good 1-2 punch. It's just the team gets weak after that. Judy has been good, been a little bit better, but you can't have any faith in the Broncos. Um, if I was Chuck, I'd keep starting Taysom Hill, but that's just me. That's just me. C minus grade, big jump because you look at this. Obviously, you got the first win this past week. How the heck did he go from 0-7 to power ranking eighth? I still don't have him in the playoffs. I've still got him clumped together at the bottom here, but Jalen Hurts is a dog. I mean, Jalen Hurts is a dog. Mark Andrews is a dog. Mike Evans is a dog. The three players he acquired in the trade are great. It's not trending great because he's got Jamar hurt. This team's, at the wrong time, he's injury riddled, right? He needs wins. He's got Jamar hurt. Andrews a little banged up. Brandon Cooks might not want to play football for the Texans, but Cordero may be coming back. I think fully healthy. Like, I don't know if this team this year will ever get to this point, but imagine this team fully healthy. Hurts, Montgomery, Michael Carter, Evans with Jamar, Mark Andrews, Cooks, Samuel. I mean, it's pretty good. It's good enough for eighth. Patterson in there. It's good enough for eighth. I still think this team's missing the playoffs. What could help this team? I don't know. Maybe a stack. Maybe you go get you got Andrews, so maybe you go get the Ravens quarterback. Since he got hurt, maybe you go get some of the Philly pass catchers. I don't know. That's just an idea. You just got to find a way to increase your weekly upside if you're this team. But that's neither here nor there. Don't know if the owner will be able to pull the trigger. Probably just going to float into mediocrity and finish probably eighth in the rankings. Molly's Muffins at 7, right where they belong, right? Can't put them any higher than this because you look at Herbert and Kamara and DJ Moore and T. Higgins, they've been doing their job. Nobody else on this team is doing their job. Nobody else on this team is doing their job. You're not excited to keep starting Everett, Robert Woods, Rondale Moore. Like, these are guys you want to be plugging in only on bye weeks. But, like, who are they actually subbed in for right now? Sutton? Deontay? They've been just as bad. So he's just got all these very middling, very boom busts. You don't know what you're going to get wide receivers. James Conner is cheeks. I'll take my victory lap on that one right now. I was saying in preseason, Sam couldn't understand why the whole league let James Conner fall to him at the beginning of the third round because he had a million touchdowns last year. And everybody was like, look, man, Kyler's going to take more touchdowns this year. And, they got Hollywood, and he was due for touchdown regression. And now he's injury prone too. And look at that. He's been banged up. So, Sam, when you hear this, I don't even want you to say you can't judge James Conner because he was hurt. Look at this. He's barely breaking 10 points. He broke it 1 week when he got a touchdown. That was a long time ago. Like, he is super mid. If anything, if you're hoping James Conner gets hurt so you can start the GOAT Eno, because guess what Eno did with the full workload? 23 points. He's got just as many double-digit weeks as James Conner, and he ain't even getting the full workload the first 5 weeks. So you're hoping James Conner gets hurt right now so you can put in Eno. So, yeah, I'll take my victory lap on that one. I know Troy was on that with me. James Conner's mid. You can't rank this team higher than 7. Can't rank this team higher than 7. Also, isn't Irv Smith on IR? Yeah, we should drop him. They got Hawkinson. Dan Snyder, 6. Coob's team, I think Coob's our last one to get into the playoffs. You look at it, Joe Burrow's above average QB. He has Aaron Jones. When he's not on bye, he has the Aaron Jones Nick Chubb punch. Those are 2 good running backs. He has Amon-Ra and Jalen Waddle. Those are 2 good wide receivers. That's a great core to build around. He doesn't go that far in the playoffs and won't win a week because from there, look at that tight end, look at those flexes. And it's not like he's going to start someone off that's bench at flex. Like, to get to the next sphere, this team really needs like a David Montgomery injury. He really needs I don't know. He needs Schultz to figure it out, I guess. Schultz has been pretty bad. He needs like a Najee Harris injury. He needs something to catapult beyond just a fringe playoff team. I think he will get in because you look at right now he's 8th, but look at that. He's 3-5. He has 120 more points for than like Sam and John. So I'm that tiebreaker, right? Over the rest of the season, if he can just win one more game than those 2 teams, he's simply in. No one below him is catching him, and he just needs to win one more week than those teams, and they'll be tied in record, but he'll probably get the points for a tiebreaker. So I think he's our last team in the playoffs. It's pretty simple there. Draft Night Ghost at 5. This is very similar to Coop's team. So this team, the quarterback isn't as strong, but he's got 2 really good running backs, Eckler and Fournette. He's got Tyreek. He's got Amari. Mike Williams, when healthy, is why this team gets a bump. Right now, it looks kind of ugly. With Mike Williams, Amari, Austin Eckler, and Leonard Fournette, and Tyreek, that's a really good core to build around. Deontay Foreman is coming on. So that's why I've got him at 5. But other than that, tight end's mid. His flex 2 is going to be mid, and Aaron Rodgers is mid. So I feel like this is the definition of a first-round playoff exit. Detrimentally horny at 4. Marky Mark with the Josh Allen Diggs stack with Dawson Knox, with Isaiah McKenzie on the bench. All in on the Bills. This team's good, but the running backs are weak. Bad news about Swift. Hilliard, who are you subbing in for him? Melvin Gordon. I mean, Mark needs Zeke to, die. He just needs him to go die, or he needs Jerry Jones to die, or he needs Zeke to tear his ACL. That would really catapult this team if you could reliably start Pollard. You probably will flex Pollard after that, but you can't be guaranteed that he's not going to get, 8 carries a game and 2 targets and get, 9 fantasy points. It's probably the story with Pollard the rest of the year, except on weeks he scores. Melvin, Latavius might take over that role. He really needed something to happen at the trade deadline for Kareem. He was hoping Kareem would get moved, of course, and he didn't. So he's got a bunch of timeshare running backs with Pollard, Gordon, Kareem. I mean, Hilliard's not even in a timeshare. He's just in there because of the bye week. Even Swift is in a timeshare. So the story for this team is timeshares at running back I guess that's who he's going to be flexing because you don't get excited to flex Mac Hollins. You do get excited about Devontae and Diggs and DK. Like DK as a flex is great. Definitely good wide receivers. Allen is always an X factor. I just can't in good conscience put this team above four. I mean, it's 2-2 over the last four. It's probably going to go 2-2 again over the next four, and then end the season 1-2 or 2-1. So we're probably looking at 3 or 4 more wins for this team. We're probably looking at the 4th seed or the 5th seed. That's the story. That's that team. Ravens flock at 3. Lamar's elite. Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon. No question the best 3 running backs on any team. Nobody has a better top 3 running backs than this squad. Jonathan Taylor, if he ever figures it out, this team is really scary. He hasn't thus far. Obviously, this team's pretty deep at tight end with Goddard and Pitts starting them both. This team's built pretty well for bye weeks right now, missing Ayuk on the bye week, and that's okay. This team was weak at wide receiver, but Ayuk has turned into a nice little wide receiver 3. Devontae and Gabe are probably still going to be solid. Definitely probably just, top end running backs, middle wide receivers, pretty good quarterback, middle tight ends. And the story with this team is not the most points for, right? 4th in points for, but how has it done it? I want to go to the schedule. Scored 118 points, 147, 147, 70, so the down week, 119, 119, 98, 101. So scoring 100 or more basically in every single week except for that one down week. That's how you get wins in fantasy. It's consistent. I don't know if this team has the top end. I mean, maybe this team has the top end ceiling for the playoffs, maybe not. But that's what's been getting it wins. That's what gets you to that 6-2 record. It's consistent. It's built to get through these bye weeks with, some people that they can be rotating in and out at the flexes. Just a well-built team. A well-built team. Not as good as team number 2. I mean, you know who one is after I say number 2. So team number 2 is implication. Mahomes and Kelsey, what a great stack. Josh Jacobs has been amazing. McLaurin has been way better with Heineke. He's got Jefferson, of course. He's got Marquise Brown waiting to come off the IR. CD has been great. Like, you look at this team full strength, and it's really scary. You put Zeke and Josh Jacobs. You put Terry. You put Kelsey. You put Jefferson. You put CD. You put Marquise. Like, this team is really good if it gets healthy. No debating it. The only thing is it's not better than Simper Sarah. It is, I was looking at this, it is disgusting. This is gross how we just let this team take the best players from multiple teams now. I mean, the Keenan trade is crazy. The Dalvin one isn't as crazy, but man, it was definitely worked out for this team. I mean, Dalvin Cook and Saquon, you probably got the number 1 running back and like the number 7. You got D Hop, who's top 10, Keenan, who's a top 10 target. He'll probably finish top 15. Cooper Kupp might be the best wide receiver, so this team might have the best wide receiver and the best running back. Kyler's definitely top 5 with his rushing upside, and he's got the stack to D Hop, so good luck if they ever throw a touchdown to each other or a couple or have a big yards game. Michael Pitt's still good. Still top 20 for sure. The only weakness is tight end. He's even got a little bit of depth, He's got Drake London. He's got, maybe Burks comes back from IR. Elijah Moore, people he can flex. Edmonds now on the new team in Denver. We'll see what he does. It is disgusting how good we've let this team get. Couple of owners need to be held accountable for it. It was a couple trades that led to this, but man, oh man, is this team scary once it gets to full strength. I don't know how anyone beats it. You could slice this team in half. Hear me out here. You could take Kyler. You don't even got to take Saquon. You could take Kyler and Dalvin and pair him with, Keenan and Cooper Kupp. So you don't even need Saquon or Pittman on this team. Like, you could cut half the players in this team and it's still a playoff team. Like, just imagine a team that had like Kyler, Dalvin, Keenan Allen, and Michael Pittman with like some fill-ins, Drake London, whoever. That team is better. That team is better than our bottom 7 teams. That team is still a playoff team. If you take away 2 of the best players on this team, it is still a playoff team. It's disgusting. I can't believe we let it happen. It's brutal. It's not even going to be close. We need a miracle for this team to be knocked out of the playoffs.